Welcome to Sustainability Connect on Icon Radio, your number one entertainment plug. I'm your host, Ranjira Maganjo, and we are still here at the annual Circular Packaging Conference happening here at the Shamba Events, organized by Kepro. And we are super excited that we have Steve Muli finally on the set. So sorry, I introduced him, let him introduce himself. So Karibu Sana to the set. Maybe you can introduce yourself, tell us who you are and which company you are representing.
Okay, my name is Stephen Muli. On a full-time job, I work for BAT as the area sustainability manager for sub-Saharan Africa. So basically looking at the sustainability portfolio for all our operations within sub-Saharan Africa. So I've been with them for the last 17 odd years. So really passionate on that space of sustainability. Yeah. Then I'm also the chair at Kepro. Yeah, started in this year from April, took over from Akshi. Apart from that, I also sit in the board for EWASA, EPR Waste Association for South Africa. Yeah, they also did a presentation today, mainly on electronic as well as paper packaging. I'm also a committee member at the National Environmental Complaints Committee. We call it the Ombudsman, for Kenya. So that is where actually I also put out my energy from a passion point of view. Really enjoy the space on sustainability and looking forward to transform Kenya into a circular economy.
I love the fact that we've been in this space for over 17 years,
Yeah.
and yet we feel like the whole shebang about ESG and sustainability is just a thing of COVID. Eh? So, how have you maintained that trajectory? Because this is something like every company has been doing, it's just not been amplified up until now.
Yeah. I think if I look at it, if I look hindsight is that we were doing it because we knew it was the right thing to do. Yeah, we are not waiting for somebody to tell you, you don't have to throw this in the river. Has a negative impact. We know it. We could see it. So most people were doing it from that moral principle of saying, it's the right thing to do. And that is what has built now a lot of, should I say, momentum to create this space where now people are saying, the environment is having negative impacts. We are starting to see the effects, violent weather changes, drought, unprecedented things happening, and we are asking ourselves, what is going on? And now that question is coming back to saying, hey, that activity you are doing, how well are you managing it? Are you doing the right thing? A long time ago, it was obviously okay even to have your house and put your sewage just going to a river next or to the ocean, because it felt like the ocean is too big, nothing can happen. It will clean itself. Actually, that is the belief that nature will clean itself. But what has happened is that now everybody has done that, and it has had now the negative impact. Yeah, we've sort of started developing beyond without looking at foresight in terms of what are we impacting really. So that is what now has brought this fad now of ESG, people sitting back, taking a back seat and saying, we cannot continue like this. And can we put some regulation? Can we put some control? How do we space it out? So for some of us who've been doing it normally, now it has actually found us. We just found us on the way, on our journey. So it's been a good space because then we're able to tell the story and tell people where you can begin, because others are caught in the storm of it. It's all a jargon, and we're trying to understand what does sustainability mean? What does it mean with what I'm doing? Where do I sit in all these big equation? Now you're telling me to segregate waste in my house. Yeah, I need to be incentivized. But for me, there's lots of incentive around it. Yeah, in terms of just saying, if I look at it and say, if you segregate, you don't have to pay for your waste. Yeah. It's simple as that. Today, everybody is paying for their waste to be picked. Yeah, tomorrow you just say, so long as you segregate, we pick it for free. That is enough incentive for me, yeah. And that is a reality. No. I think, and that's why we brought this hashtag, my waste, my responsibility. I have a part to play. If you look out even in the developed world, people segregate without any incentive. And they say they feel good doing it, taking care of the environment.
Well, it's good to feel good, eh? But
Yeah.
knowing where we are, eh? The country we are at, eh? I think we are more of dumping and not giving a care. So when you're told to not clean up, it becomes like a job. So you're like,
The question is, let's start first of all to stop dumping, because then we stop piling up the problem which is there, stop the bleeding, and then see how do we remedy what we've damaged. That's how I'm looking at it.
I love the fact that today we're talking about sustainable packaging because whatever is a dump is all packages.
It's all packaged.
So I'm hoping that you, as the chair of Kepro, you're championing for one waste segregation. That is one of your agendas. So coming to today's event, do you feel that the agenda that you have set for today's event has been met, and the discussions around everything that you had centered it about, every discussion has geared towards your agenda?
If you look at the agenda today, the way we had set, we started looking at, I know what hurts most people are looking at, I'm running a business, is sustainability profitable? So I think there's one term which I have learned today, which I think was very impactful, is profit responsibly. So for me, that has been a key word, saying that all these profits I make, have I made them responsibly? Have I taken care of the environment? Have I taken care of the areas that my business is operating? And I can tell you, even playing around with the profit, you will still get enough profit, even with taking care of the environment. It doesn't mean your profit goes away. I think that is the thing people think of. When they hear of sustainability, you think, oh, I'll have to chop my profits because I will have to do this and that. What you're saying is that sustainability, you are investing for the future. Sustainability is not a now thing. And most people, when they look at money, you're looking at today, tomorrow. I want to put the money now, I want the payback tomorrow. And that's why they were talking about long-term, short-term. Sustainability is a journey. And you have to journey to that future where we are saying it will be a better, greener future for all of us, and all of us will thrive. So, and that is what we are looking at from a space of, financing, what people are thinking at in the companies. Do you want a company that is here today and is out tomorrow? I think most people say no. So you have to start investing on your tomorrow. So I think that's one key item which we really wanted also to plant in, especially to the members, to the various brand owners. The other thing is also looking at the supply, the waste management chain, supply chain, the value chain. Who is involved in this, chain? And what are they bringing to the table? How do we bring them in? How do we make them as a player? I think that is one key thing, because sometimes people don't know. Yeah, fine, we're talking about this circularity, but who's going to do what? Who is where? Do we have them in our country? Who are they? How can we connect with them? I think that has been one thing that has been soul searching. People want to know. I'm a waste collector. I don't know if I pick. Is the aggregator the right person? Should I go to the recycler? How do I communicate? And where is Kepro? This in the middle of all this, Yeah, where is Kepro? We don't know. Are you guys just a briefcase guy who's walking around? So I think the power of Kepro is bring together all these players. Yeah, including starting all the way from the consumer, who is our first person. And that's where we talked about the things we are doing, consumer-led transformation. Does the consumer know the part he's playing on the space of circularity? Does he know the part the waste picker is playing? The aggregator, the recycler, the brand owner. How can we sit in one room and discuss? And of course, bring in the regulator. Because the regulator is also bringing in policies. Some of them probably they don't really understand them fully, but they've been mandated to do it. They're even lost. So it's an issue, and that's where Kepro is coming in. We're saying, listen, we have the expertise in the house, and that's why we said we have these key strategic partners, DI East Africa. They were very, honorable to sponsor, to see what they're doing in Denmark. I think Denmark is, the Nordic countries, they're one of the leading in terms of waste management and the circularity. Can we see how it's working? We've taken our regulators there. They've been there. So when we are talking now, we are talking from a point of knowledge and something that has happened. To understand, it's easy to benchmark, it's easy to connect the dots. So for me, this session was also an awareness session, because even a lot of the brand owners don't know EPR, PRO. You're just looking at the regulation. What do I need to do to comply? And as Kepro, we are saying we want to add value beyond compliance. We are bringing now a session like this where now you're able to interact. The regulators are here, county government is here, we have the recyclers, we have the waste collectors also represented. So we're able to talk and say, where does the shoe pinch most? Where does it pain most? How can we work it better? And that is what Kepro now is bringing into the picture, to harmonize this and make it a reality. Because then we are able to track what everyone is doing and able to flag, hey, so-and-so, I think you need to do more of this than this. So-and-so needs to come in and connect with this other individual. So-and-so needs to, it's sort of bringing these players together. And remember, Kepro is also a non-profit making organization. So we are not here to look for, some good profits, bank statement at the end of the year to say, yeah, guys, we made this. No, we are looking at actually more of what is our impact in turning Kenya into a circular economy. How much waste have we diverted from going to landfill? How well have we supported, the country moving away from dump sites into more of what you're calling MRFs, where you're saying this is a material recovery facility, people are able to segregate. How well is that happening? That for us is, for me, what I will sit on my balance sheet scorecard. Yeah.
I love how you're saying it. Like, all this now falls down to innovation. How innovative are we in creating our own solutions that are tailor-made for the African community? So I think innovation should also, like you're calling out to innovators, ask them to create, not just apps, because a lot of people are creating a lot of apps. Yeah. So what would you tell them?
I think on the sustainability space, it is wide. I think if I look at what has come in here, trash to art. Who would have thought we will have art made out of trash? No one. Now that is something that will be trending now. And that can trend globally. And that has come from where? From our own local solutions. So for me, the innovators, I think they need to venture out of, tech, good opportunities, but in sustainability, massive opportunities. This is the next big thing, if I would say. Because everybody is asking, what are we going to do with post-consumer waste? A lot of I've seen massive innovation across the world, and all of them addressing the local issues. I can tell you from an industry perspective, if I look at it, is that lots of industrial waste, lots of industries have gone into that space of innovating. And that is what has driven some of us even to go into starting into Kepro. The industries we joined, of course, there was industry waste, which was going out to a landfill site. And we said, no, we can't do that. It's not right. What can we do with this waste? Let's get innovators. What can this be converted into? Something that has an economical value. And bam, it happened. Now that has become a permanent economic, feature. Employing people, creating some green jobs. Somebody is engaged and is making a living out of it. So for me, for the innovators, I'm challenging them and telling them, come ahead on sustainability. Look at packaging that we're having out here, which I know is a struggle to the regulator, to everyone. We don't have a ready answer like tomorrow. We need their minds. We need that brain to come and look and tell us, look at this, what can we do with it?
Wow. Let me ask, the economic viability of this transition to SMEs.
Yeah.
It's going to cost an arm and a tooth.
From what I've seen, actually, we have strategic partners who are ready to incubate these projects. The question is that, do we have them? And that's the question even we ask us.
Wait, they're more of investors than the products.
They're interested to invest in your idea. When you are saying, yes, we need this innovation to be done. SMEs have come up. I'm an SME. I have this packaging. I don't know what I can do about it. I don't have sort of investment outlay to put some innovation on the table. But you're saying, come to Kepro, join Kepro. Let's discuss this issue. Because your issue could be the same as the next door issue, your neighbors. The moment 3, 4, 5, 10 of you sit together, we can easily get an innovator with a good idea, and we can incubate. This can be incubated. There are very many partners who are interested to know what are the green projects you have, you think that are viable, that will give a solution to some of your packaging challenges. And that is where it comes. You can incubate it and see whether it can make sense. It makes sense, then you see whether it's commercially viable. There's massive opportunity, and that is the green financing, which the banks were here talking in the morning saying, we need to see these proposals, we need to understand them, we need to look at what is the risk bit of it, And the thing is that there's a lot of funding coming to Africa on called green funding. And how do people tap into it? That has been the question. You see, people are asking, but the question is that as Kepro, we are sitting down looking at what innovation ideas are there. Because remember, our members are all producers, brand owners, they have packaging issues. They're coming to say, we have this packaging, it's going out. We are also sitting down to say, as a PRO, we're going to give you value beyond compliance. So it's not just a matter of saying, I'm a member of a PRO, ends there. What you're trying to say is that we want to look at your packaging. What type of packaging are you having? What can we do with your packaging? Is it something we can look at a better design at the start? And that is one thing which we are saying we're going to also run, designing for circularity. And that is very powerful because it starts from the start. Because sometimes people manufacture until the end, then you're like, okay, post-consumer, what do you do with that? Okay, we had not thought about it. Yeah, can you tell us what to do? And that is already a bit too late coming in. So it becomes a struggle. And usually the solution becomes also very difficult to make it viable commercially. But when it is a thought-through process from the start, it is a fantastic when you take it to the end. So it's never too late. What you're saying, it's never too late. It's not too late. Those discussions, we are still having them. We can have them, and the opportunity is still there. Yeah.
I love how you're saying, join Kepro, there's ready investments. We are now getting into the awards section. And, we have, I think, 6 categories, right?
Yeah.
And tell us more about these awards and why you felt like you need to start awarding people because of their ideas.
I think in terms of where we've seen, as you've said, people don't know what is all this stuff on sustainability. ESG just came in the other day. There are people behind there who have, should I say, you call them the early adopters?
Yeah.
They have seen it.
Case in point, you guys.
And they're running with this. Yeah. So it's good to also bring them to the forefront. I think from an award perspective, it means you are bringing it to the limelight. We will get to know what you did. What was this innovation that felt that you deserved this recognition? Then what does it do? It has a ripple effect. Somebody will sit down and say, actually, I had a similar thought of
designing.
Yeah. So that gives that person the drive that, you know what? I wasn't just daydreaming.
Yeah.
This is something that we can make it happen. And that, for me, that is my number one thing. We're going to recruit more innovators. People will start seeing this is getting attention and it can make business sense. Yeah. That's the other thing. The second thing to show that, sustainability is also profitable. Because the people who think if you do sustainability, you're trying to save the world, there's no way you make it happen.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is that the small bit you're doing is where it starts from. I'm sure when you are here, we had this, actually was running this thing of the ripple effect. Yeah. We want to start that ripple effect with these small things that you are doing. Yes, we have a conference. Apart from just sitting down in a panel and discussing all these things we plan to do and we've done, why can't we also start looking at recognizing some great efforts, some people who have come up with some outstanding ideas that has been commercialized and broadcast into the world.
Yeah, that's amazing. That gives a lot of, it jacks. It just gives people that energy to want to do something better.
You want to do something better, there's somebody watching. Let me say it, before you think you're doing it and no one is watching. Somebody is watching now. We are looking, and if it makes sense, it's the next big thing, as I've said, is the next big thing that is happening. Is all on the space of of sustainability. So don't be left behind.
I'm with you.
Don't miss the bus. So that's what
I'm
we want to
with
say.
you. How will I be
Don't miss
left behind?
don't miss the bus. Yeah, and that's why we're bringing all these activities.
Yeah.
We started this conference last year. This is the second one we're running this year, and
Yeah.
now we have spiced it with the awards.
Yeah.
We're bringing the spin of the awards. So we just try to grow it and make it, something outstanding. Kenya, probably we want to look at it even regionally as it's growing, because there've been a lot of talk about what you are doing. We've shared a lot in terms of our playbook, the things that we are doing as a PRO, the success stories, the challenges, how do you manage to navigate through this for a startup. So that for me is also something very powerful, the story that we want to tell.
Thank you so much for your time. We have so much to talk about, but you need to come to the studio first.
I have a lot. I can talk the whole day
I
on
know.
this subject. This one I can tell you, I can.
I mean, it's your field.
Yeah.
And for the first, I remember I hosted one of my guests, and it was like, for the first time in the history of my work period, I've been called to a radio station to speak about what I do.
Yeah.
So when you get an opportunity to talk about it,
Yeah.
you take it and you run with it.
And run.
So thank you so much for joining us on Sustainability Connect.
Yep.
And we are with you until the awards. We want to see what it is that maybe you can tell us maybe what are some of the categories that are in the award ceremony.
Well, I think I want to keep it as a surprise.
Yeah? All right, this is
And to keep you anticipating, so for you to make sure you don't give up and say, this wasn't there, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
okay.
I'm going to be surprised, so please make sure you're there.
All right. Thank you so much. So thank you so much. This is Sustainability Connect on Icon Radio. I'm your host, Sanjera Maganjo, and this is the Kepro Annual Circular Conference happening here at the Shamba event. All right.